So we're gonna be doing this. I'll show you how to do this thing here. Constructor initiation of a store. Now we're not gonna be doing types because I just want to simplify it, right? If you want to do it with types, you can do it with types, but I mean, I'll just do it very, very quickly, okay? So we're gonna create a folder called store. In there, we're gonna create a file. We can call it names store. Let's just call it names store. Names store users. Let's just call it users, okay? Users.store.ts, okay? Now let's look at the naming convention, make sure that the naming convention is correct. Yeah, okay. So, right, the first thing you need to do is you need to import injectable. Actually, you can just type injectable. I think it will do it anyway. Injectable, it's going to import it. Okay, the second thing you need to import is import, and they don't say it in here, but you need to import it. It's called ComponentStore. So you need this thing here. So ComponentStore comes from from here, ngrx / component store. Now, before before we go any further, make sure that you have it installed. Okay, so you need to install this thing here, this thing here. Okay, or install this thing in here as well. Okay, either one. Like I installed this one and I installed this one as well. Okay, so once this is done, we have injectable. Okay, so injectable is a decorator provided in root. All right, so there's two ways to do. I'll explain to you this thing later. All right, then we need export class, call your store, users store, extends component store. Now we initialize it through constructor, so we're gonna go constructor, right? Then we're gonna do like this. So now constructor, whoops, we need to go here. So basically your state lives in here. All right. And now you can put anything you want in here. So let's put users, array, and then let's do some yeah, it's gonna complain because you have to put a type honestly in here. Okay, so let's put some name, whatever, John, and let's do telephone 123, and then we do another one, called it name Tom, oopsie, telephone 456. Okay, now the final thing you need to do, you can put it in here, but I tend to like to put it in here. Okay, we do users, so this is going to be an observable. Remember, when you're initializing states, they tend to be observables. This select All right. And then we'll put state, and then we'll put state dot users. Okay, so it's complaining about something. Oh, yeah. I did a mistake in here. Yeah, so it has to be super. Oh, shit. I can probably. Yeah, it has to be super. And then inside the super, that's where you put the state. My apologies, I forgot. So now you can put anything you want in here. So we do, again, user. I think I copy and paste it, right? I can copy and paste it now. Whatever, users, array, whoops, name, John, telephone, 123. Let's do second one, name, Tom, tel, 456. Okay, so now this store is completely set up. Now we want to import it into a component. So let's just take a blank component. My one is called play. We want to import. So this is standard dependency injection. Standard dependency injection. We take user store from maybe one more. Yeah, store. There you go. User store. All right. I have to take off my hat. Just get it warm. 1 sec. Too warm to program. Okay, standard dependency injection again is I usually do public because then you can use it in HTML. Call it users, whatever you want to call it. User store. Just call it. I just called users, right? And then users store. Now it's completely available, right? So to access this state, you do, let's do console log it. This users dot, and let's look at this one here. You see, so we're trying to access this thing in here. Now, basically, this is now a service when you think about it, right? The only difference is that you're putting stuff in here, and that's where your um, state lives, right? Other than that, I mean, it's just so. Now now kind of you have to also understand that this is a selector. This is a selector in here. I know I didn't cover it, but if you read this guide, okay, if you read this guide, it will talk to you about things that are um, well, there's the store that stores all of your states, which is this here. You can think of it as a database if you want, right? And then selectors, these are functions that access this. So you can think about it as a database, right? Like a Mongo database or just JSON server. And then your selectors are functions that access parts of your store. Honestly, it's exactly the same as a JSON server. So this will be your JSON server, and this will be your post REST API requests. You know, like post, get, put, patch, right? They're going to be these ones. Only they have their own methods. So again, we put users dot whatever we want. Actually, no, we're going to do slightly differently. This users dot observable. Now, because it's an observable, we have to use subscribe naturally, and we're going to console log, right? So this will console log what's inside the state. You see, we can see it. Now I did it a bit weird. I know you probably don't like it, but I'll do it this way then for you, so you can see it's much easier. Like this. There you go. So now this shows the store content. That's about it. I'll post the code in the video description so you can see it. And that's about it. Take care.